On this James the Bike Guy, we're taking a look at the 2020 Trek Verve 2 disc. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this bike, find out all the features and the changes for 2020, and then of course, we're going to find out what it weighs. So before we get into it, be sure to click the subscribe button. That way you can see more videos like this into the future. So we're going to start off with the frame. So this frame has been revised for 2020. This is a very upright position, very comfortable frame set, and this bike is really designed to be a nice comfortable cruiser for the bike path, some light commuting, or even just a nice bike to be able to ride with your kids. Now, what's really neat about the bike is it's going to use what they call Trek's Alpha Gold aluminum, and that means this is going to have some nice welds, shape tubing, and overall a nice aluminum frame. Now the bike itself is now going to have disc brakes, and that's new for 2020. This used to be just rim brakes, but it's going to have disc both on the front as well as the rear of the bike. And then the frame is also going to be set up with all sorts of rack mounts, so the rear can carry racks or fenders. And what's really nice is it's also got a spot to be able to run a rear wheel lock. So that's a nice feature if you're going to commute, or if you just want a nice lock that's always on the bike. Now on the front, it's also going to be set up with fender mounts as well as rack mounts. And the fork on the bike is actually going to be aluminum. So you can see this is an aluminum fork, and they don't need to put a suspension fork here because, as you can see, the fork has actually got sort of a curved shape to it. So between that and the larger size tires, this bike does a great job of smoothing out the ride. Speaking of the tires, this is set up with Bontrager's H5 tire. So the H5 is a 700 by 45C, and that's mounted up on some Bontrager Connection disc wheels. So these disc wheels are an aluminum rim, double-walled, 32 spokes, and then the front hub is a Formula DC20 6-bolt aluminum front hub, and the rear is a DC22 alloy 6-bolt hub. On the back, we're going to be set up with a 8-speed drivetrain. This 8-speed drivetrain is operated through a Shimano Altus M310 derailleur. The cassette on the back is a Shimano HG 31 1132 8-speed cassette. And then up front, you're going to have a Shimano Tourney TY710, and then a forged aluminum crankset here with a 48 38 28 chainring combo. And then of course it's going to have a plastic guard to help keep your pants out of the chain. And for pedals, this is running Bontrager's Satellite City pedal. So this is a nice flat pedal, and you can see it's got some great design as far as a platform for your foot, as well as lots of reflectivity to help keep you safe. Now for the seat, this is going to be set up with Bontrager's Boulevard saddle. This saddle is going to be incredibly comfortable. It does have a cutout, but the padding on this, when you get a chance to feel it, does feel great. And then the seat post is actually an adjustable suspension seat post. So you can dial this a little firmer, a little softer, but it's an alloy suspension seat post. To aid to the comfort, we can go to the front, which this actually has an adjustable stem. So that means the stem can actually increase or decrease, raising and lowering the handlebars. And the handlebars on this bike are actually set up with Bontrager's alloy handlebar that's kind of this M style design. So it ends up being a pretty nice look and very ergonomic. The grips are Bontrager Satellite grips, which are pretty comfortable. And then the real showstopper here on the handlebar is actually these Tektro brakes. So these are Tektro M275 brakes. It's a mineral oil brake, which means it's very low maintenance, and the hand feel is great. These require very little effort to get great stopping power out of, and they operate 160 millimeter rotors on the brakes. Now the shifting is done using Shimano Altus M310 8-speed shifters. That means these are going to be a trigger style shifter, which makes them very easy to operate and very durable. And then the last thing to talk about while we're up top here is the blender stem. So this blender stem actually allows you to put either a light mount, a computer on there, a whole bunch of other things, but it integrates right into the stem, so all your mountings go through that, and you don't have to have a whole bunch of things hanging off of the handlebar. So overall, this is a really cool bike. I think this is a nice revision for 2020. The disc brakes are going to add a whole ton of value to the bike, make it a lot easier to control. And one thing that we didn't talk about, but it actually makes taking the wheels on and off easier. So if you have to do that, that's a nice thing as well. So now that we've taken a look at the features, let's go ahead and put this on a scale and we'll see what it weighs. The Verve 2 disc in a medium is going to come in and weigh 27.8 pounds. Thanks for watching this video on the 2020 Trek Verve 2. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know whether or not you think that they made some nice improvements to the bike or what you'd like to see in the next version of it. And while you're at it, be sure to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video and hit that subscribe button. That way you can see more videos like this into the future.